Ladies, it's your time to shine with all things fabulous with First for Women on Afternoon Express. For insurance with a host of fabulous benefits, call 0861 11 18 44 or SMS FIRST to 49267.
Hello, South Africa, and a very good afternoon to you. I'm Jeannie D.
And I'm Bonnie Booley. We've got a lineup that's sure to chase your winter blues away. It's Thursday today, so on the show, it's all about fashion today.
And it all starts tonight with SA Menswear Week starting in Cape Town this evening. And of course, this weekend is the 2015 Durban July, so we're going to be celebrating all things sexy, outrageous, and inspiring in terms of Durban July fashion. And we have Durban fashion designer Kathrin Kidger in the loft, who's going to be showing us some of her glorious designs.
We also get into more of our Skip Fabulous fashion series that we've been going through over the past couple of weeks, and we invite South Africa's best-loved bloggers from Durban, Johannesburg, and Cape Town to talk about their unique street style.
Danilo's also here, and obviously we've kept him in the kitchen.
Buongiorno, signori. Very warm welcome to Afternoon Express. My name is Danilo Acquisto. So we're speaking about fashion today, and I'm very excited to have fashion entrepreneur Craig Jacobs joining us in the loft today. So Craig, obviously there's a bit of interesting stories that you're going to be telling us today. You moved from writing away from that, and tell us the reason.
Oh, you know what? It just happened, actually.
Really?
I think I might have offended a few people.
And
some of them may be in the studio as well.
Okay, fantastic. We're looking forward to hearing more of those stories. He's also released a brand new menswear line, which is very exciting. We'll be strutting that stuff later on Afternoon Express. But joining us in the kitchen is the lovely Claire Winstanley. So now, Claire, we are making something very sweet and very tarty today.
I like how you describe it. So exactly that. A sweet potato and butternut, very simple tart.
Lovely.
So
I like
yummy
things simple.
filling on a very basic puff pastry tart.
Amazing. So if you guys want to cook along with us on Afternoon Express, you need to find us on our website, www.afternoonexpress.co.za. The recipe and the shopping list is available for you. Then you can cook with us live on air. Otherwise, tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express. And you can also go and find us on our Facebook page and comment there, like you will. Right now, standing by on the couch is Jeannie D with our first guest.
The Durban July is coming up this weekend, and to get everyone in the spirit of things, we have award-winning Durban designer Kathrin Kidger on our couch today. She's here to chat about some of the designs that she's created in the past and also to show us what she has planned for this year. Kathrin, welcome to Afternoon Express.
Good afternoon. Hi.
So you have been consistently invited back to the Durban July as a designer to showcase some of your designs. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think also, obviously when you get asked to participate in these things, it's always about putting your best foot forward. So one hopes that you try to put your best foot forward, and hopefully that's the reason why I kind of get re-invited back to showcase.
Now, what is your brief every year? Do you get a theme, or is this kind of a playground for you to explore every kind of creative juice?
Well, we actually do get given a theme. How you interpret the theme is really what it's about as an invited designer, certainly. Obviously, you get given the theme, you kind of have to break it down for yourself and find a facet within it to work around and obviously create gorgeous garments.
Now, everyone knows, I think, at the July and at the races, it's usually a huge opportunity for sometimes people to be quite outrageous. Now, how do you kind of be outrageous but then still stay quite stylish within that kind of
I think it's so important as obviously a race day goer to bear in mind that obviously it is a day at the races. So A, there's some point of comfort like a shoe or a great fitting dress, and then B, there's always obviously an accessory that really pulls in the theme, or obviously a fascinator or a hat goes down really, really well. So I think there is a way of even using what's existing in your wardrobe to create something new and fresh and vibrant on the day that really obviously captures the theme.
Okay, so what is the theme of this year's July?
This year's theme is the Captain's Table, which is very exciting, and it's obviously open for interpretation, whether it's the race day goers or the punters.
And how did you interpret it?
So for us, we feel very, very strongly it's about old world glamour, old world nostalgia, so beautiful fabrications, sequining, kind of things that would warrant being a guest at the captain's table.
Okay, well, let's have a look at what you brought. I'm really looking forward to seeing how you actually interpreted this. Let's see what the girls are wearing. Oh, wow.
Right. So Kim here is obviously wearing a very appropriate length for something such as the races. That kind of midi length that is really, really trending and current, with a beautiful sequin detail at the bustier with the applique to really bring it in. As you can see, it's also about tying in your accessories. So a great shoe goes a long way with a fabulous kind of hairpiece. It need not be a hat or a fascinator as such, but certainly something that kind of finishes and makes it look more polished.
That's so beautiful. It's such a romantic dress.
Absolutely. I think the colour does a lot for it. The kind of romantic nudes that really invoke a sense of old ship glamour.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's see what our next model has to show us.
So here's Amber.
Oh, that is incredible.
Oh, thank you. So Amber, I mean, obviously, I think this is one of the challenges around the theme this year. It obviously calls for actually evening gowns when you break it down, because if you were a guest at the captain's table, you definitely would be wearing something obviously long and breathtaking and gorgeous. So here we've kind of gone with a very, very simple silhouette, but really being kind of key in choosing our fabrication.
I like that the neck is so thick.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it is something different. I mean, as I say, whilst the colour palette is very old worldy and the fabrication, the styling's certainly a little bit more current.
Oh, it's magnificent.
So this is kind of...
that's so fresh.
Oh, thank you. This is a kind of look where we were thinking, where are these people on this cruise liner or ship actually going? So this is more about like kind of resort weary, something that really is a contrast prints at the moment, so are particularly trending on runways. So we like the idea of combining the look and obviously finishing it off with maybe a different hat choice, something a little bit more current.
And it's bringing it back to Africa.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, we are South African designers.
Oh, that is just magnificent. Showstopper. I love that.
So here's also just another take on it, the length, the longer. And I think what's nice about, obviously, this resort wear kind of approach and more bohemian as such is that it is more current. I think this is something that the younger race day goers can really like tap into and understand.
Yeah, that fabric is incredible. Wow. That makes me excited about the races again. I mean, that is just so lovely, so fresh. Kathrin, thank you so much for bringing these gorgeous dresses.
Only a pleasure.
Now, don't go anywhere. After the break, Danilo gets cooking in the kitchen and Bonnie shows us how to make the perfect cup of tea.
Remember to join the conversation on social media. Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express, or leave your comments on Facebook at Afternoon Express.
South Africa, are you with us?
I am an ordinary man who has been blessed with extraordinary opportunities and experiences. My name? Well, you can call me
Danilo.
Good evening. I can talk the talk, but can I walk the walk?
Peter Piper, pickled peppers. Get out, I'm coming now.
I have met some incredible people and experienced some rather grueling challenges along the way. But at each step of the Presenter Search on 3 journey, I have realized that at 24, I've experienced more than most and I'm on top of the world. Remember this moment?
Danilo.
Well, now I get to spend every afternoon with you, South Africa, on Afternoon Express alongside Bonang, Jeannie and Bonnie. What's next? Well, I hope to get to inspire more people with my story as I focus on my ministry work, my radio shows, trying to dominate the digital and social media worlds, and of course this, my new Afternoon Express family.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. It's about to get messy in the kitchen right now. Claire Winsley and myself are about to make an awesome tart. Like my jokes?
I'm a little bit scared. I don't know if I like, but I'm scared. But I matched yours with mine.
Okay, you put a longer one than I do, clearly.
Okay, so danger aside, these knives are here for a purpose.
Okay, cool.
So you're going to get chopping up on the sweet potato and butternut. I've helped you out there on the butternut. Just
Amazing.
I know you're a little bit slow.
This is sweet potato.
This is sweet potato, believe it or
my
not.
goodness, it's
Orange
orange.
flesh sweet potato. So you know the yams that Americans
Yes.
always talk about? Pretty
Got
much
the
that.
yams. Cool, I get it. Cool.
Don't listen to my
And what are you going to be
American
doing this
accent.
side?
Okay, so what we've done is we've got some beautiful store-made puff pastry. It's one of those things that you're going to cry about if you have to make it at home. True. Buy it. It's just fabulous store-bought.
And the nice thing about this recipe is that it seems so easy so far. Everything seems to have been diced for me. I'm just making them a little bit smaller.
Exactly. So the convenience of just buying something out of the bag, but the reason you're cutting it smaller is because we're going to cook it, we want it to cook evenly. So you can, if you want to, dump it straight out of the bag into the pot, but just be mindful of the fact that the small pieces are probably going to break up, the big pieces are going to sort of hold their shape, and you want to cook it to the point where the big pieces are done, not the small pieces. Okay, so what I've done here is I've just cut the strips off the sides here, just kind of even it out and make it a bit of a rectangle. We're going to take our tray here and just pop the big pieces. I think I might need your help here.
Okay, I'll help you out.
It's not coming off.
I'll hold it down.
And
There we go, well done.
Just pop that on there. It's going to stick a little bit, but don't be worried about that.
It's quite like a, you don't have to go too neat about the way that that's in there, it seems.
No,
it's sort of just
rustic.
creating like a base.
You can, if you want to, add a little bit of flour to your fingers, add a little bit of flour here, and then that's going to make it a little bit easier.
Got you.
So
You see, I am useful in the kitchen. The girls think that this is where I belong. It's clear that I do.
So that blue plastic is actually just the plastic that it comes from in the packaging. Okay.
Well,
so
what
you're
about
gonna,
frozen pastry? Is that a thing?
This comes frozen.
Oh, okay, cool. So that is the best way to do
It comes frozen. It's easier to use it the cooler it is from the freezer because the butter stays nice and hard. And this has obviously been sitting out just a little bit too long, so it's getting a bit too soft. You can make this shape whatever shape you want. We're just kind of...
I like how neat this is. It's almost like makes it simple. You don't have to stress too much about getting it to fit in perfectly and rolling it out.
Yeah. We're just kind of making it as big as our tray.
I'm kind of done here, by the way.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Good one. So I'm the slow one in the kitchen.
Yay, for once. Usually this Claire of ours is very adamant that I am quite slow in the kitchen because I'm pedantic. I like to do things properly, but
no, that's good. That's
like
good.
I've got it done.
Perfection is the way to go. Perfection and practice, I find in the kitchen, are two P words you should use when learning.
Okay, awkward. All right, so I also want to know this tart itself. Is this something you can serve as a meal? Is it a sweet? Is it a treat?
Ooh, I think so. It's Thursday today.
Yeah.
We're kind of gearing up for the weekend. It's something great to have as like a tea time on the weekend. It's not quite a meal. It's something that's going to fill you up. It's something that you want to probably have in the afternoon on a Saturday. It's a slightly lighter note for those winter, those hearty winter meals.
Yes.
And it's fresh because it's got the butternut. It's got our twist later, which is the clement gold or some sort of citrus.
Oh, amazing. What are you doing here, by the way? I see you busy twisting
I'm twisting
things.
this all around. You can actually finish up that last one. We just brushed a little bit of milk around the edges, and that's going to help stick the pastry on top of each other.
Is this to look nice, little twisties, or is this to create like a layer of support?
Yeah, I mean, you really can just lay it flat, but just for fun, you can twist it around and you just keep building that around there. And that's kind of the pastry. Then that gets popped into the oven at about, probably about 200 degrees, because puff pastry wants to puff it up and just really, watch me downing myself there on puff pastry temperatures.
I'm laughing actually because my little outside thing doesn't look as good as yours. But
no, we're good. It's a rustic tart. Like we said, it's the weekend. We're coming up to the weekend, and you want to just take your time.
Take it nice and chilled.
Okay, so you've done a fantastic job there. We're going to get our butter going here. Just get the filling. So hot pan, butter. That's going to melt, and you can just dump that all in there.
Stuck these all in here. I'm so actually shocked by this sweet potato that it's orange. I've never seen that in my life before.
Color, isn't it?
Can you use normal butternut, I assume, hey?
Okay, so the butternut is that one. That's normal.
I mean, I'm sorry, I meant
sweet
sweet potatoes. Yeah.
I'm just going to use my fingers here just to pop that in because I don't like wasting.
There we go.
There we go. You can use the normal sweet potato. It's kind of whatever's available and seasonal.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that goes in there. That just starts to kind of
that needs to almost settle down settle down a little bit.
That needs to settle down a little bit. Then a little bit of thyme. That's all the way over there on that side of the table.
Should I sprig it in for you or just in like it's little stalky? So do the...
Up to you. You can take the time to do it nice and neatly, otherwise just throw it in.
Just chuck them in there. Cool.
And then a cool complement to the sweet potato and the butternut is cinnamon sugar. It's kind of like, think of like a sweet potato fritter, butternut fritter, those kind of things. It's really a good, delicious South African combination.
Yummy.
That
and
goes
how much
in
sugar
there.
are you putting in there?
That's probably about a quarter of a cup.
A cup, okay.
Just to sweeten it up and caramelize that butternut really well. And that's just going to slowly cook down, probably about 15, 20 minutes, just until it's all soft.
It looks delicious already.
It does, doesn't
Just
it?
saying, I could just eat it like that. Just cook it down with a bit of cinnamon sugar and you're done almost.
I don't think you can eat it like that. You're going to have to like really chomp on that bit.
Okay, well, we're going to finish this up, right? We're going to get into the way we're going to decorate it, put it into our puff pastry, which needs to go into the oven for a bit first.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we're going to get this finished, but right now, Bon Bizzle's in the kitchen talking tea.
Tea has been enjoyed in China since 2000 BC, so it's no surprise that this drink has a number of long-standing traditions and rituals that go along with enjoying it. Welcome back, Dinesh.
Thank you.
Right, so how did the tea industry begin in Sri Lanka?
Ceylon, as it was known then, was famous for its coffee plantations. However, due to a fungal disease, these plantations were devastated. And in 1867, a British planter by the name of James Taylor started a small tea farm called Lulekundera. And since then, it's just grown from strength to strength. And as you know, tea from Ceylon has been renowned for its high quality and unique taste. Today, Sri Lanka is one of the largest tea exporters in the world. It's natural that Sri Lanka is one of the largest exporters, as it's one of the better teas or high quality teas in the world.
What does Ceylon bring to Five Roses?
Well, the tea that we purchase is specifically from the Dimbula region, and it's on the western slopes of the island, and it has a unique and distinctive flavor and quality to it. And that's your mellowness, your smoothness, and yeah, it's what Five Roses actually stands for.
Wow. Yes. Right, so as a tea master, you're the expert on how to prepare the perfect cup of tea. Please teach us.
Okay, a few golden rules that you need to follow to make a good cup of tea. First of all, you need to get a good quality tea. You cannot make a good tea from a poor quality tea. And you need freshly boiled water. Then why I say freshly boiled water is the more you boil water, like in an urn, it takes all the oxygen out of the water. And that, when your tea is brewed, makes the tea also have a flat taste to it.
Right.
Then, of course, you need the correct portions. So the general norm is 2.5 grams of tea, which is the amount that is in a normal tea bag, into a teacup. Now, a teacup gives you 180 mLs to 200 mLs of water, and that's what you need to have.
And how long do I let it steep for?
That's the next rule, and that is between 3 to 5 minutes. The reason why we say that is if you brew the tea for too long, it brings out all the bitter enzymes in the tea and leaves a bitter aftertaste in your mouth. If you don't brew the tea for long enough, it doesn't bring out the quality and the taste profile that the blend should be giving you.
Yes, and the flavors.
And the flavors.
Well, I'm learning a thing or two because I don't think I've ever brewed a cup of tea for longer than a minute.
Well, now I think you should go to 3 to 5 minutes to get the correct taste.
Yeah. Okay, so the milk?
And lastly, you have to first complete brewing the tea and only then add your milk and sugar if you need to taste.
And can you leave the tea bag in or do you take it out?
You need to take it out after your 5 minutes or your 3 minutes.
My mom always leaves the tea bag in. Did you hear that, Mom? Oh, there's so much I could ask you because I realize that I've been making my cup of teas so terribly for so long. Thank you so much, Dinesh, for teaching us on the nuances of making tea.
It's a pleasure.
So the next time you reach for that kettle to make that cup of tea, do bear the tea master's tips in mind. There's no reason to make another bad cup of tea ever again.
Remember to join the conversation on social media. Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express, or leave your comments on Facebook at Afternoon Express.
Any occasion, anytime. Nobody makes better tea than you and Five Roses.
Join us tonight on Top Billing as we head to the Maldives with Josh Limburg and Gerada Jardine for their second honeymoon. Joanne goes in search of the proudly South African teddy bear with a passport to travel. The Soweto Opera Quadro proves opera is just as cool as pop. And Jade's back to school with Western Province rugby player Damian de Allender. That's Top Billing tonight at 7:30. Repeat Sunday 12:30. Find it on 3.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, we're back on the couch with Kathrin and we're discussing all things Durban July fashion. Joining the conversation now is fashion entrepreneur and journalist Craig Jacobs. Welcome, Craig.
Thanks for having me.
So, now, the Durban July is obviously one of the biggest dates on our social calendars. What is a massive do and don't for this year's theme?
Well, funny enough, Craig and I were both sitting prior to the show and discussing what really is a do and a don't. So for us, hopefully it's not that everybody won't necessarily go all nautical.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think that's like...
Because, I mean, how do you go glam and nautical all at the same time?
Well,
yeah.
Your question is as good as mine, really, on that note.
It's actually Bonnie's first time going to this year's Durban July.
Oh, no way.
So give her some tips on how she should be styled.
What not to do. How do I stop from getting my heel poke into the grass?
Okay, no,
That's the only thing I'm actually quite concerned about.
I always tell people you need to bring a backup pair of sensible shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So like a pair of like ballet flats or something in your handbag so that later on you can put them on. What do you think, Kath?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, there's so much infrastructure you can buy that actually goes inside your shoe to kind of protect
Infrastructure.
Yeah, infrastructure.
But I always wear these hooker, and by the end of the night, I literally cannot walk. It is because you do so much walking at the July.
Really? Yes.
Yeah. So other tips in terms of dressing, and I mean, we see so many amazing outfits. How do you think the outfits have been, evolving throughout the years that you've both been involved with the July?
Well, menswear certainly has taken front of house. We were also discussing how the men have really stepped up to the plate in the last couple of years. And ladies' wear's kind of not stood still necessarily, but certainly not evolved at the rate that menswear has.
Although I do think also at the same time, we live in a generation of Instagram, so everyone's trying to make an effort to make sure that they look great on a picture.
Exactly.
So I think people are making more of an effort. Hopefully, though, we do get to a point where we can compete against, overseas, if you look at Ascot at the races or the Melbourne Cup and stuff, people look very chic, very glam. And I think the whole point about the theme this year is that people must make an effort.
What are the trends in terms of, the races, anything glamorous, an outside event like this one?
I think trends in terms of what's happening, there is very much like an old world glamour thing coming through in fashion. It's also about being individual. I think we all live in different tribes and we need to follow that individuality. You don't need to necessarily slavishly follow a trend that everyone else is following around the rest of the world, and also try and be African. We're in South Africa.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so pleased that I was here to do the ladies' fashion week because I was like, I don't have a dress for the July. Kathrin was like, we'll take that one. So I'm sorted.
Absolutely.
But I struggle every year because I think there is that kind of divide between do you go over the top or do you kind of go all
Elegant,
glam, elegant,
yeah.
like Ascot and some of the other English races that we see?
Well, I suppose, you have to try and find that fine balance between the two because it depends also how long you're going to stay there for. I've seen some people who dress like absolutely glamorous and they're there to take a picture and then they disappear afterwards.
Yeah,
so if you want to stay there, last the long haul and go from marquee to marquee, then you've got to think about also, it does get a little bit brisk later on.
It does. People forget Durban's a very, very warm place to be, but come 5 o'clock or when the sun goes down, it is a lot more nippier. So maybe the idea of obviously taking a bolero or something small to kind of throw on your shoulders when it is cold.
Yeah.
What have been your favourite previous years?
I think 2011 was Posh Oh My Gosh.
Yes.
I think that was a really, really great theme. I think everyone kind of stepped up the fashion ante quite.
Yeah, I think that was
a bit.
actually a very good point because it was the first time that they were trying to say, let's really make an effort.
Exactly.
Let's be posh. Let's make an effort. Let's try and look as glamorous as possible. So I think that was really a turning point with the with the July. Eh?
Absolutely.
In terms of all the people who've won Best Dressed over the years that you've been involved in the Durban July, what always stands out about them?
You're the expert on that.
What's the common denominator?
I always think it's the unique take on the theme. So it's usually somebody who's interpreted the theme quite directly, never, it's never the abstract, but also like they just look like a well-polished couple at the end of the day.
Wow.
There's a lot of synergy in what they're wearing. There's a lot of, there's obviously a little bit of avant-garde, but it's not nearly as bad as a nipple cap or the lax.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got to make sure you're seen everywhere. Is that why everyone does so much walking?
No, because it's just so much fun, and you want to get from that tent to that tent, and then you've got to go place your bets, and it's all over the place.
Yeah, look, the Durban July is like, it's a village. There's so many different marquees, so there's so many different experiences you can have. So you want to try and explore all of that. And you've got to go across the tunnel to the other side. Yeah, there's a lot of walking.
Do you ever get nostalgic about some of your previous years' collections? And do you have any favourites that stand out for you?
Absolutely. I think last year's 2014 was something to do with obviously the golden screen the silver screen rather. And for me, obviously creating gorgeous garments that really embodied these glamorous women of yesteryear was a very special moment.
What did those dresses look like?
Well, for our showstopper, we kind of really took on the whole 1920s tassels, and we kind of cross-pollinated that with really gorgeous fabrications that were semi-sheer but still had great depth to it, and just beautiful, beautiful silhouettes. Our menswear look was particularly strong, I thought, and I thought anyway. And we like the idea of using patents to create a really, really gorgeous old world school look.
Thank you so much for chatting to us. I absolutely cannot wait for the July. And if you are seriously into glam, then how about spending a day in the life of Bonang? From seeing her in action on her radio show to hanging out with us right here in the loft. Then make sure you catch our Revlon Foundation Friday series right here on Afternoon Express and enter our competition on Twitter. Tweet us a picture of you holding your Revlon Color Stay Foundation at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Foundation Fridays, hashtag Love Is On. And you and a +1 could win the ultimate celebrity experience where you'll be treated to 24 hours of luxury, Bonang style. Competition runs till 21st of August. Find all of the details and T's and C's on our website at afternoonexpress.co.za. Don't miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so get snapping. For now, let's see how Danilo is coming along in the kitchen. With his tart.
That's totally right. We're making something tartly awesome in the kitchen today. We finished our filling over here. It's got, you said, butternut and sweet potato, but we've chosen orange sweet potato, which rocks. What more is there to do?
And then cinnamon sugar and a little bit of thyme. So you're going to get dishing up on the filling.
Is this hot? No, it's...
I would just scoop right out of it. It's a pretty heavy pot.
Pretty hot. Okay, so I'm not going to touch that again.
So you just want to layer that and evenly across your pastry, which is baked beautifully and golden.
Okay.
So that would have been probably about 10 to 15 minutes in the oven, depending on how hot you did it.
Okay, it looks nice and crispy, and I think my side actually came out okay. After all that stuff that I was stressed about.
And then we're just gonna tart with a twist is the chemicals. Beautifully in season at the moment, and citrus really does sort of bring out that dish in the winter, you know? Like we were talking about earlier, those like heavy winter dishes, which we love, but every now and again you want something fresh and zesty and light.
How did you get them to do that browning on top there?
So what we did is a little bit of icing sugar, so bring out the sweetness, and then either with a blowtorch or under your grill, hottest grill possible, until it just starts to caramelize a little bit, and just to kind of look cool.
Yes.
You don't have
to do it too much.
But you know, you don't have to do it at all, but it just looks so pretty.
It does. And this looks like quite a messy tart almost. Is that like the cool thing about it, is that it is sort of messy?
We like to use the word rustic.
Rustic. So basically you cut into this one, it doesn't like all hold itself together, so it's one of those you might need a fork to finish off the end.
Yeah, no, exactly. You can cut it into small little bite-sized pieces, but it really is chunky pieces of butternut and sweet potato and the chemicals.
Yeah.
So knife and fork. Let's just be proper about it.
Let's be polite. And then obviously, does this need to cool down at some point, or can you just serve it warm?
No, so actually what happens now is it goes back into the oven just to sort of bring everything together, melt that sugar a little bit more that's in the sweet potato that we added with the cinnamon, and just finish it all up. Really, just to warm everything through, because you know that's just come off, but the pastry's a little bit cool now that it's been sitting out onto the table, and then just finish it off with a good drizzle of honey, because sweetness is delicious. And then I like to just finish it off with some more thyme, just again accentuate that rusticness that we're going for, and then back into the oven.
Amazing. So that's going to go back into the oven now. It's going to bake for how long?
10 minutes just to warm it through.
Okay, so we're going to get this baked into the oven in the meantime, so you guys can get a taste, well, Jeannie and Bonnie can get a taste of that a little bit later on. Right now, they're going for a short commercial break. When we come back, however, we're talking about Durban, Joburg, and Cape Town fashion. Who will win? We'll have to wait and see. Remember to join the conversation on social media. Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express, or leave your comments on Facebook at Afternoon Express.
South Africa, are you with us?
The Skip Fashion Series has been shining a spotlight on style in cities around the country, celebrating our fabulous fashion sense. Joining us to chat more are some of South Africa's best-loved fashion bloggers, Aisha Baker, Nteta, and Brett Robson. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Hi.
I'm so excited to talk fashion.
Yay.
Okay, so what do you think distinguishes your particular city's dress sense or style?
Okay, so I'm from Cape Town, and I think Cape Town is so effortless. We're kind of lazy, aren't we? So we don't really like dressing up. I think if I were to choose anything for a Cape Townian to wear, it would be a wide-brimmed hat, an oversized coat, and maybe Converse or boots. Yeah, we're very chilled. So that's kind of my city style, and I love that about Cape Town.
Right.
Okay, I'm from Durban, and I mean, Durban's such a chilled, laid-back city, and I think that really comes through in our style. So I wear flip-flops and denim shorts to the mall. I'd never do that in Cape Town or Johannesburg. It's just like, how dare you know what I mean?
I know, right?
But yeah, so we're very chilled and relaxed. When we need to be fashionable, we're fashionable, but for the most part, it's like relaxed.
But you guys love your colors as well, hey?
Yes, we do. So that also comes through. But so we play in the fashion, but also the comfort and relaxed, like, sense of style. That's what we are.
Awesome.
Well, I'm from Johannesburg, and I think the one thing that you can say about Johannesburg is, like, it's a very juxtaposed city, and I think, like, from a style perspective, people are like that as well. So you'll find, like, you'll be in town and people will be wearing, like, jeans and like sneakers, but like, you know, on-trend sneakers, you know, dress
with
basically.
A bit of bling.
Yeah, dress like street style blogs basically. And then you'll go to the other side of town and people are like in heels and they're like dressed to the T. So I think Johannesburg street style generally is about juxtapositions. It literally reflects what the city's about and expresses what people are about. Like, people literally show who they are in what they're wearing.
Right. But it's definitely more flashy than the other two cities.
I don't like the term flashy.
Okay, give us another term.
Can we say refined? Can we use words like that? Flashy sounds like, you know, we're like a whole rap video. We're not.
Now, when you travel to the different cities in South Africa, what strikes you about their street style?
For me, I've never been to Durban. Sorry, Brett.
What?
I'll bring my flip-flops as well, so we can go to the mall. But I've been to Joburg lots of times, and for me, Joburg's always super trendy, and I feel like they pick up trends before mainstream does, and I always feel very nervous to go out in Joburg. Like, I need to be like on my game, you know? So what I love most about Joburg, though, is that they're always ready for the next opportunity, and I feel like people are always ready to walk into their next business partner and be like, I'm ready for that meeting, I'm ready to go out. Thithi and I were actually joking earlier about her car boots, and I said to her, there's probably a second outfit in her car.
From
They're just prepared for everything.
Outfit. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I love about Josie, and kind of wish I lived there. Maybe I'd be more organized with my style.
That's where all the hustlers live.
Exactly.
Yes.
You have to be ready for everything.
Yeah. What strikes you about
I have to agree with Aisha here about Johannesburg. I go there a lot, and I feel like everyone dresses so dressy, not flashy, and it's also, there's a lot of formal dressing as well. Whereas like in Durban, if you like compare the two, even office environments in Durban are very relaxed, and it's like denim jeans, maybe a pair of heels or flat sandals, but not at all like sophisticated, really.
Right,
yeah.
right. And you, Thithi?
I mean, I've been to Durban. I do think that what I've noticed is that like everyone kind of dresses the same, but there's like a few differences. Do you know what I mean? Like Cape Town, you can see the trends. You can see like everyone's read a magazine or has been on a blog, and they've like translated the trend their own way. Actually, that's what it is. I think with every city, it's like everyone translates the trend their own way. Fine, we are maybe a little bit more flashy, like we add more, or we like go all the way with the trend. But the internet has made it that everyone kind of dresses the same. That's how I literally feel like style and fashion is very democratic right now.
Having considered all of this, what do you think are the key influences of dress sense in each of these cities?
I think we kind of touched on lifestyle earlier, and for Cape Town, I think our lifestyle is very much relaxed. I actually had a friend from Joburg joke that we only work from 10 to 4. Yes. He's like, I can't phone you guys between 8 and 10. Like, where are you?
Yeah.
And where are you after 4? So we're very chilled. And I think that comes through in our style. And of course, we by the sea and we've got pretty scenery. So we express that a lot in our clothing.
Durban is like, we've basically almost got summer all year round. So like when we're dressing, we literally, even if it's going to be a cold day, you have to still keep in mind that it's probably going to get hot at some point, and then you're going to have to like take your layers off.
It's very
and
humid.
exactly. So and then that there's the sea as well. So that's where the flip flops come in. We all love the beach. We all love walking on the beach, walking on the promenade as well. So yeah, I think those would be the key elements.
Would you say Durbanites show more skin?
Yes, we do. All the time. All the time. Yeah.
I think with Joburg, I was actually, like she said earlier, my car boot is literally filled with my entire wardrobe.
Wow.
But you know, like there's so much traffic and there's so much to do in a day. The last thing you want to do is like have to go home to change, to do something. So generally, I think Joburgers like to be prepared for kind of any scenario. So fine, ladies will have their whole car boot full of stuff. Guys will dress so that they're able to go from, work and walk into a bar afterwards. You just have to be able to, your wardrobe must be able to move from one to the other.
Yes.
I also think like the business part of Joburg comes through a lot in how people are dressed when they leave their home. I'll be dressed quite casually, but I always have a black blazer in my car. Like I always just have, just in case I need to pop into a meeting and look halfway decent.
Yeah.
You need to be prepared. So yeah, I think that's like Joburg's, literally the contrast of the city, like is how people approach how they dress every day. Yeah.
You look absolutely amazing, by the way.
Thank you so much.
So the experts have had their say, but we wanted to ask the women of South Africa what they think of their city's style. Take a look.
Durban style it's eclectic. We've got a big Indian culture, we've got a big Zulu culture, we've got lots of foreign nationals as well who form part of this city's identity, and all those things come together to form as an eclectic melting pot of style.
Durban is very laid back. I think the perception is always t-shirts and baggy shorts, but that's who we are. That's the people. Wherever you go, you're going to see that type of dress code.
Cape Town style is very different. It's very vintage and grunge, hipster, new age, postmodern, just a whole bunch of cool words mixed together. That's what Cape Town style is.
Stylish people in Cape Town, like they're very adventurous with what they do. We don't really follow international trends. We kind of incorporate it and make it into our own and put an African twist to it, put some prints in it, which I really love.
People in Joburg actually dress up, like they actually care about how they look, because I think presentation is a big deal in Joburg. So I think it's nice that people actually dress up for events. There's still hipsters, people wear sneakers. Like I think everyone dresses for what's perfect for whatever they're doing for that day or the event that they're attending.
Typical Josie style is very street style, it's very chilled, relaxed. I feel it's very urban chic.
What makes your city style fabulous? Join the conversation online, #MyFabulous. You can also watch the progress of the My Fabulous fashion ranges on Instagram at Skip South Africa, or visit their website for more information. And if you love fashion as much as we do, you won't want to miss the Skip Fashion Exchange happening in Johannesburg on Thursday, the 13th of August. So make sure you and your friends book your tickets ASAP. Details on the screen now. We're also giving away a 6-month supply of Skip to keep your clothes beautiful. Simply SMS SMS the keyword skip along with your name and city to 33728, and we could be calling you to claim your prize. Don't go away. We'll be back after the break.
I'm you, Skip, and I love what you're wearing. You Skip liquid for beautiful clothes.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. So I've kicked the two ladies off the couch because we've heard Craig's insight into the trends for the Durban July, but I wanted to find out more about the man behind the men's fashion line that he's just launched. So Craig, let's first get straight into it. Your love for fashion. What point in your life did you know that this was your thing?
I suppose it just happened by osmosis. I mean, my background was really in journalism. I was a writer for various publications around the country, and then one day I decided to, I met someone amazing who was a designer and spoke to her and had an idea about starting a label, and we started one together, and then she moved off to the US and I continued.
Amazing. You also lived in Australia for a little while, if I'm not
did,
mistaken.
yes.
Tell us about that journey. Why did you move?
Well, we left in the bad old 80s, left in South Africa, and I finished school and university in Australia.
And then you came back in 1998.
Correct.
And the pursuit then was in fashion. Was it quite hard to break in?
It was actually, the pursuit was in journalism, yeah.
Okay.
It was in journalism, and I did that for a couple of years, and then I started the clothing label.
And you started primarily with female clothing, and then kind of shifted now into this men's range. This is your second range that you've released so far.
Yeah, second season that I've done with menswear.
So why exactly did you make that shift into menswear? Was it a financial thing?
Look, I think that men are making more of an effort to dress, to make an effort to dress up, and they are, I suppose as well, I mean, the market's changing, so guys want to look as good as women.
Yeah, and are men spending money on local designs?
They are, yes, it's changing a lot. So, and it's great because, you know, what I try to do with my collection is, you'll see with the garments, is give it a very much an African aesthetic, and that's something different to what you're going to find in the rest of the world.
Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to seeing these. So let's get straight into it. I'd like to see some of your male models that you've brought out here and what they're wearing today, because I'm very excited about African prints at the moment.
Yeah, so this is, Lisala's wearing, the collection's called Warrior, and what I try to do is incorporate a whole lot of elements about tribal. The print that he's wearing is both shweshwe, African prints. I like to mix things a little bit, so I kind of use a little bit of sportswear elements, like the mesh, combined with the shweshwe, in something that's very easy.
It's almost got like a basketball pant feel too.
Yeah, I think I call them grandpa pants. They're like kind of old school and kind of grandpa pants.
They got the drop crotch, but so dropped that it doesn't even count anymore as a drop crotch.
Yeah, and this is also like about the print. I mean, this is a key print for my collection. It's the spear print, which is an African fabric. In terms of that, and also the kind of blue. I love blue. I think blue is like one of the strongest colors that reminds you you're wearing a blue jacket.
Yeah, there you go. I'm getting there. I'm on trend. You see, he said it. Fantastic. I think it's really cool that you've brought in those patterns, I think, and you're mixing them up a bit. Some solids, some of the patterns in there. Thank you so much.
And then, just mixing in neutrals with a bit of the blue as well, playing around with the silhouettes for the T-shirts. And then utility for me is also a very big thing. So, for instance, this bag, can you guess what happens with the bag?
No, please tell me. Looks cool. I can't wait to see. It's like a big surprise packet. It's like one of those adult lucky packets when you open up and like, what's inside, mommy? Wait and see what's inside this one.
Look, I mean, utility is all about things that change and transform into different things as well. And in terms of retail as well, I mean, like kind of an important thing is if you get one thing and you get one thing for the price, two things for the price of one.
Why not?
It's like a bargain.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
okay. That is so cool. And that is purely locally produced?
Completely.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So it turns into another shweshwe style jacket.
Yes.
That is inverted. I see you've gone for some loose-fitted things in your range.
I think that in terms of silhouettes for men, you can go a bit looser. I think it's more comfortable. Yeah, and also like the bomber-style jackets as well. It's like kind of also sportswear inspired, but
and mixing and matching all over the place.
Speaking of mixing and matching, I think Guys should be brave to wear dresses.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I did not expect to see this coming out today on the show. That's pretty interesting. Tell me about this inspiration.
You know what, I mean, if you look at like what's happening, I never thought that he would be a fashion icon, but Jaden Smith. Yes. Have you seen what Jaden Smith is wearing? Jaden Smith goes to Topshop and he buys dresses and he wears it to Amandla's prom. So I think it's where guys can be more relaxed and you can dress it up and with the jacket, and the jacket is also, it's made from hemp.
Wow, so it is a proper dress that you've put on there and you just styled it up?
Completely.
Oh, fantastic. So in terms of the way that things are moving at the moment with your career, what is next for Craig Jacobs?
What's next is we're doing a lot of overseas exploration. So I'm doing a show in Portugal end of July and also doing something in Milan and in Paris as well. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens.
So all eyes on Craig Jacobs. Good luck and we're looking forward to seeing what happens next with your career. Right now, though, something smells like it's burning in the kitchen. Girls?
Burning? There's nothing burning in here. This is sensational. I'm so glad you made this for Danilo.
None for Danilo. None whatsoever burning.
I will sneak a piece, don't you worry.
I don't know if you will.
We love it when our guests taste the food first, just in case anything goes wrong.
Since I'm going to be wearing your dress, guys, good luck for this weekend as well. Good luck for you this evening. I'm sure menswear is going to be amazing. Yeah. And good luck for this weekend. The Durban July is definitely set to be amazing. Okay, how's your food? How's your tart?
Yeah, no, no pressure. No pressure
whatsoever.
Yum, yum, yum.
I'll describe your outfits. All we want to know if you can describe this as well.
Zesty. Now, remember to tune into Top Billing this evening at 7:30 p.m. Lorna joins Josh Lindberg and Zoraida Jardine for a second honeymoon in the Maldives, where she learns how to scuba dive. Joanne Strauss takes a look at some hand-embroidered teddies at Taunina, a social development program aimed at providing a source of income and skill set to previously disadvantaged women. Then Jade spends a day with rising rugby star Damien de Allender. That man is hot. Otherwise, from us, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow, which is Friday.
It's the weekend.
Oh, finally, the weekend.
Good night,
so from us,
happy eating.
Ciao.
Happy eating. This tastes amazing.
Give me that.
Tomorrow on Afternoon Express, taking you into the weekend, we bring you Kathy-specific and performers from the celebration, plus one of South Africa's most unique and unusual performers to the loft.
Another feel-good production.
Join us next time for more fabulous fun inspired by First for Women on Afternoon Express. For an insurance quote, call 0861 11 18 44 or SMS FIRST to 49267.